The Museum of Fine Arts of Lyon, Musée des Beaux-Arts de Lyon, is a municipal museum of fine arts in the French city of Lyon. It is housed near Place des Terreaux in a former Benedictine convent of the 17th and 18th centuries. It was restored between 1988 and 1998, and despite these important restoration works it remained open to visitors. Its collections range from ancient Egypt antiquities to the modern art period and make the museum one of the most important in Europe. It hosts important exhibitions of art. Recently there have been exhibitions of works by Georges Braque and Henry Lawrence, then one on the work of Théodore Géricault. It is one of the largest art museums in France. Buildings. Abbey. Until 1792, the buildings belonged to the Royal Abbaye des Dames de Saint-Pierre, built in the 17th century. The abbess always came from the high French nobility and here received the personalities of the kingdom. The institution had a particularly aristocratic slant, as is shown by its renovation by Louis XIV of France in the 17th and 18th centuries. The present state of the Palais Saint-Pierre is largely down to these renovations, which included the construction of the Baroque refectory and monumental honor staircase, said to be by Thomas Blanchet. The refectory has been renovated since then and now serves as the reception for group visits, as well as housing two monumental paintings on the subject of dining, the multiplication of the loaves and the Last Supper, both by Pierre-Louis Créty. The rest of its current scheme was designed by Nicolas Bedout and Simon Guillaume and is made up of sculptures. The Palais du Commerce et des Arts. The expulsion of the nuns and the destruction of the Église Saint-Saturnin date to the French Revolution, though the abbey's other church still exists and now houses 19th and 20th century sculptures. After the Revolution the remaining buildings housed the Palais du Commerce et des Arts, at first made up of works confiscated from the clergy and nobility but later becoming more multidisciplinary. For example, it gained archaeology and natural history collections and those of the Académie des Sciences et des Lettres. The Imperial Drawing School was created in 1805 in the Palais du Commerce et des Arts to provide Lyon's silk factories with designers. It gave birth to the famous Lyon School. In 1860, the Chambre de Commerce left the Palais Saint-Pierre and the establishment became the Palais des Arts. From 1875, the museum's collections underwent a major expansion and had to be expanded. The staircase by Pierre Parvis de Chavannes dates to this era. The Musée des Beaux-Arts. The start of the 20th century was marked by a considerable opening up of the collections, leading to the Palais des Arts becoming the Musée des Beaux-Arts. After several restoration projects, it was in the mid-1990s that the building acquired its present scheme. Collections. Paintings. The paintings department has European paintings of 14th to mid-20th century paintings. They are arranged chronologically and by major schools in 35 rooms. The collection features ancient French painting, 19th century French painting, 14th to 18th century Italian painting, ancient Spanish painting, ancient German, Flemish and Dutch painting, 20th century painting. Sculptures. At the heart of the abbey's former cloister is now a municipal garden, right in the center of the town, on the peninsula. It is decorated with several 19th century statues, two sculptures by Rodin, The Shadow, or Adam and a Temptation of St. Anthony, a sculpture by Elie Couteau and Alexandre Delhomme representing Democritus meditating on the seat of the soul, a sculpture by Émile Antoine Bourdelle representing Carpo at work, a Venus by Aristide Malol, an odalisque by James Pradier, a group by Antoine Itex representing Cain and his race cursed by God, The main part of the collection is displayed in two divided sections, at the ground floor for medieval and Renaissance sculptures and in the old Baroque refectory, which has been renovated, for 19th and early 20th centuries sculptures. Antiquities. Egypt. Ancient Egypt is the main theme of the museum's Antiquities department due to the historic importance of Egyptology in Lyon, animated by men like Victor Loret, whose family gave over 1,000 objects to the museum in 1954. From 1895, the Musée du Louvre provided nearly 400 objects to form the foundation of the department. Other objects were later added to complement this initial donation, and were augmented in 1936 by objects from the artisans' village of Deir el-Medina. The highlights of the collection are its display of sarcophaguses and the gates of Ptolemy III and Ptolemy IV from the Temple of Medamud dug by the Lyons archaeologist Alexandre Varil in 1939. The rest of the objects throw light on everyday life in ancient Egypt. The collection has 600 works displayed in 9 rooms, in a thematic and chronological sequence. Room 1, Life After Death. Funerary practices displayed via a display of Old Kingdom to late period coffins, canopic vases, organs, shutters and 155 amulets on a variety of subjects, as well as a fragment of the tomb of Bacon Rain found at Saqqara, dating to the 26th dynasty, as well as a Roman-era shroud. Room 2, the Divine and its Rites. Along this room's length the temple's decoration is recreated, culminating with the gates of Ptolemy III and Ptolemy IV from the late temple at Medamud. The other bas-reliefs in this room come from Coptos. 8 are dated to the Middle Kingdom and come from a temple to Min. They were discovered by Adolf Reinach in 1909 in the foundations of a late building. 11 other fragments come from the end of the Ptolemaic era, and more precisely the reign of Cleopatra VII. Even if pharaonic statuary is underrepresented in the museum, the fragment of the statue of Ramses VI in pink granite and the outline of the statue of Commodus as pharaoh document this aspect of Egyptian art. Room 3, the Cult of the Divine. Entered through the gate of Ptolemy IV. At the center of this room is a support from a Barca statue dating to the reign of Ptolemy II. On the walls are shown 3 fragments of bas-reliefs from the 28th dynasty, also found in Coptos. Room 4, Images and Emblems of the Divine. This room's 3 cases contain a collection of bronze statuettes of divinities from the Egyptian pantheon, with a rare representation of Hapi, god of the Nile, dating from the late period. One whole case is devoted to representations of Osiris and another to those of the pharaoh. Here can be seen a head of a pharaoh of the 30th dynasty, attributed to Nectanebo II, a Middle Kingdom bust and a scarab with the name of Amenhotep II. Room 5, Pharaoh and his servants. In one case are 18 wooden models of the 23rd dynasty from Asserat from tombs, representing scenes from everyday life, like grazing cattle or beer making. In the opposite case are 2 with displays on writing and on the pharaoh's servants respectively. The latter has, among other objects, a limestone statue of an anonymous Old Kingdom couple, a Ptolemaic male bust and a fragment of a statuette of a kneeling scribe. Room 6, Stelae arranged around a wooden statue of Osiris are 4 Middle Kingdom stelae, 8 New Kingdom stelae and 4 of the Roman era. One of the most beautiful is that of Thamos, high priest of Amen, vizier of Thebes and chief of works under Amenophis III, which retains traces of its polychromy. Room 7, Everyday Life. One case contains 14 proto-historic and pre-dynastic vases, whilst another shows a selection of vases from the New Kingdom to the late period. The main case in the room contains many unique pieces, such as the Second Dynasty Stela of Nezhenu, or the magnificent wooden male head of the 28th Dynasty, perhaps part of the ornamentation of a harp, as well as everyday objects like sandals, mirrors, jewelry, and even a stool. Room 8. Egypt and the Greeks. Egypt and Rome. Greek and Roman influence on Egyptian art, particularly as seen in private works of art such as a series of terracotta figurines of Egyptian divinities with Hellenistic traits, along with 5 2nd and 3rd century funerary stelae from Coptos showing Palmyrene influence. Room 9. Egypt and the Roman Empire. Coptic Christianity. Gold-plated funerary masks from the Roman period, and bas-reliefs, papyrus and textiles from the Coptic civilization, including a fragment of the famous Shawl of Sabina. Near East and Middle East. One room contains cylinder seals, clay tablets and bas-reliefs from the Sumerian, Assyrian and Babylonian civilizations, as well as Luristan bronzes, ceramics and statuettes from Cyprus, and a fine collection of Syrian objects. Ancient Greece and Italy. A single room is devoted to the main work in this department, the 6th century BC marble core from the Acropolis of Athens. A second room is dedicated to ancient Greece, containing a series of Attic vases in black figure, a red figure, bronzes and terracotta tanagra figurines. Finally, a small room is devoted to Magna Graecia, with many ceramics and bronze helmets. Roman sculpture is also presented across several rooms, marble statues and also small bronze figurines of divinities and everyday objects. Objet d'Art. Department's collection ranges from the Middle Ages to the 20th century and includes Byzantine ivories, Limoges enamels, Renaissance faience and maiolica, Art Nouveau room of Hector Guimard, Islamic art, Far East ceramics, Chinese, Korean and Japanese stoneware, rare pieces illustrating the tea ceremony, displayed next to the Art Nouveau ceramics they inspired. Coins and medals. Lyon's Medallia is the second largest one in France after that in Paris, with nearly 50,000 coins, medals, seals and other objects. It is known at a European level and has held a prominent place in the numismatic world from its beginnings in the 19th century to recent discoveries of the treasuries of the Terreaux and the Célestins. Graphic arts. This department was created at the start of the 19th century and includes works on paper, drawings, prints, engravings, watercolors etc., based on line rather than color. In all it more than 8,000 works, including ones by Filippino Lippi, Parmigianino, Fra Bartolomeo, Leonetto Cappiello, Nicolas Poussin, François Boucher, Ingres, Théodore Géricault, Eugene Delacroix, Camille Corot, Honoré Daumier, Odilon Redon, Pavus de Chavannes, Edgar Degas, Henri Matisse, Fernand Léger, and a remarkable study by Albrecht Dürer. Magazine. On the initiative of René Julien in 1952, the Bulletin des Musées Lyonnais was created, and 8 years later changed its name to Bulletin des Musées et Monuments Lyonnais. In 2003 it changed to an annual publication and again changed its name to Cahiers du Musée des Beaux-Arts de Lyon. Collection. Cloth of St. Jereon, a fragment they have in their inventory. It happens to be the oldest European tapestry still existing.